Initiating startup sequence.
This is AMIR Design Postmodern Era FTR9. It all started on a simple rectangular format, but evolved in a way that there is no other smartphone like it in the whole world. As seen, both the display and FPS assembly stand flush harmoniously, but the remaining buttons of the button field, although conveniently reachable, however, they differ in heights. In other words, they are all arranged neatly in ways that are compensated for the sloped surface of the unit's face. The cuts and four chamfered corners, each having a different radius, are designed not only to provide diversified looks, but also to present the users with an outstanding artistic appearance that is like no other smartphone ever. There are other changes also incorporated into the works to fulfill the engineering and ergonomic requirements of the design for an excellent grab hold and handling performance. It is made light and rugged to endure nowadays life right. On top and halfway down the sloped body of the unit is the bulged ear set assembly, and further down the slope is the secondary camera for video calls, mounted on a tall base whose both components having offsets to compensate for the height of the display and also for the slope of the body. The shape of the secondary camera base is copied from the variable chamfer design of the smartphone body itself. The only band slot of the unit is before the corner, and the little LED at the corner is for visual alerts. The main purpose of placing the LED on a pole is to obtain an almost all-around 360 degrees visibility. At the extreme lower edge of the body there is the microphone set. The accessed easily buttons are located on the four corners of the fourth lowest quarter. The first red and the second green are on the left edge, one on the upper and the other on the lower part respectively. Also, the first green and the second red are on the right edge, on the upper and lower part accordingly too. The rest of the button field is well grouped, sitting in the same surface. In the lower center of the button field is FPS assembly, mounted on a box. The yellow square on the top left of FPS is the back button. Slightly below is the rectangular blue EXO button. The yellow C and the red QSQC squared buttons are located further down the slope. The entire buttons and controls of the button field are made in different heights to compensate for height variations resulted from the sloped body as seen here. Here is the multi-touch display that has occupied the bulk of the smartphone face, and like a narrow strip is the partially exposed, one and only loudspeaker sitting at the right side. Around the walls where the buttons and connectors are, starting from the lower wall, is ST switch on the shallow side and HDMI port on the taller. On the left wall below the red and the green buttons is charger PC connector, Then is lock-unlock switch, volume adjusters, and at the end is screen off-on button. On the top wall and at the taller side is the headphone plug. Beside it is the standalone power on-off button. And at the shallow end is the only holding band whose band slot was mentioned earlier. The right margin of the unit, as shown in detail, is designated to the only loudspeaker which was already mentioned. The entire casing of the unit is made out of tainted and brushed stainless steel, not only for the looks, but also for its strength against impacts and possible damages. The backside of the smartphone reveals the beauty of the unit a whole lot better and is just dedicated to standard main camera assembly that includes the lens shutter, the lids, 2 LED flashes, and a AMIR design logo that sits below.
Initiating shutdown sequence.